What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the videos. My name is Mason, and today we are going to be doing a 2022 Ledgestone in the bag. So this will be like what I've been throwing most of the year. There's been a couple discs that have been fluctuating in and out, but this is basically the bag that I've been using the entire year. So let's get straight into the video. We're going to start off with putting putters, and my putting putters vary depending on what kind of wind I have for that certain day. So if it's not very windy or low wind, I'll be using these 300 plastic PA1s. I love the PA1s, very comfortable in the hand, deep enough to where I'm able to tuck my pinky and still get a very consistent release. I love these. These are my jump putters outside of, I usually jump putt right about 40 feet or so, 50 feet. And if there is wind, I go to the prototype rainmakers. Now these things are amazing. These like makeshift P2s that Eagle did are absolutely exquisite, and I am a huge fan of them. For my approach discs, I carry a lot of approach discs, um, but we'll stay with the putter aspect of it all. And I've got, if it'll come out, I've got 5 different putters. Now, for the first putter, it is a Circuit Challenge Atom. I don't know the plastic, to be honest. I got this in a Circuit Challenge, and I loved how it flew. I can throw it on any angle, and whatever angle it's on, it's going to stay there. So if I want it flat, it's going to stay flat with a little bit of fade. If I put it on Annie, it's going to hold it. If I put it on Hyzer, it's going to hold it. I absolutely love it. The next one is going to be my very old classic blend Judge. Now, if you guys remember, this was in my last in the bag video from 2021, and this thing has just got even more flippy, if that was even possible. So this thing has been a workhorse for me. I love it on hyzer flip shots. I throw it in tailwinds flat, and it goes a little right, and then gets a stability from that tailwind. Uh, Summertime, it's a little bit softer plastic, but it is amazing. I love this disc. And the next set of discs are my Bergs. Now, I am a big believer of Bergs, backhand, forehand. I've even thrown them tomahawk. And it is just, they are so good. So we'll start with the most flippy. This is a K3 Berg from the Ice Bowl. This Berg was given to me by one of my friends at League. His name's Joe Smith. Shout out to you, Joe. I love this for hyzer flip, pop up to flat, and just push really straight. I don't throw it a whole lot, but this gets me about 200 feet of distance easy, and that's all I need for those really touchy up shots that I don't want to go anywhere. The next, we'll move everything back there. The next is my K3 Hard. Now this one I use primarily on only forehands. I love this disc for only forehands because it's only going to go 150-ish feet, and I can put it on any angle again, and it's just going to hold it. K3 Hard is a little bit more overstable, so this is more of my like neutral flying one. I will throw it on backhand occasionally, but I like the next Berg as my backhand disc, and that is the K1 Berg. Now this one is very, very stable for a Berg, and if you guys throw Bergs, you know that they just go, 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 and then they stop. There's not really a finish, but this one does have a finish, and that's what's really weird about it is that this one I throw flat, and it just gradually goes, almost to a dump at the end once it loses all of its energy. So I really like this for overstable Berg shots that I really want to push up the fairway about 200 feet. I will throw this on a forehand, but not very often. My next set of discs are my approach. I carry 3 approach discs. all ranging in stabilities, and it's two different molds. So the first mold is a Gavin Babcock Signature Series A2. I absolutely love these A2s. They are so reliable, so overstable. I can trust it on a forehand, but I usually use like a harp. So this one's mainly for backhands, or if I really need to get around a corner and I need to put it on a steep hyzer and get somewhat of an earlier release, this is where this disc comes in handy. The next disc is a Ricky Wysocki harp. Now, when I saw these things come out, I was so excited because I love, love, love harps. Like I've been throwing harps ever since I got into disc golf, and they're my favorite. I've tried the Zone, didn't really like it. It was just too shallow for me. But these, I love these. I can throw this flat on a backhand or a forehand, and I know that it's going to get left for a backhand and right for a forehand. Like this thing will not hold a line. It is so overstable. I love it. And the next one is the complete opposite of that. It is still a harp, but it's a Jake Lauber Signature Series harp, the blue on blue. It was a COVID edition, so I've had this disc for a while. I got my ninth ace with it. Uh, this one is very, very straight for a harp. I can throw this on some hyzer angle and it's going to pop up to flat and just ride. It's got so much glide. I really like how this is beaten in. So much glide, goes a really, really long ways. I don't really throw this one on forehand, but if I do, it's just a very touchy forehand that I don't want to skip if it's like a fast green. Next, we'll be going to my mid ranges, and I carry a lot of mid ranges because mid range is my main game. I shape fairways with them. I want to stay in the fairway, so I have to really get my mid range game down. And we'll start with most overstable and go down to uh, most understable. So my most overstable disc is this Lucid Glimmer Justice. And if you guys remember, this was also in my last in the bag. I just cannot get this thing out of my bag. I am so in love with it. Forehand, backhand, super overstable shots, needing to get around a corner. So reliable, so good. I'm in love. The next one is a new addition. I have a couple new additions um, within the last like month. This is a Casey Pro Rock, and I'm really loving the overstability and how this disc feels. I love the bead. Normally, I'm not really a beaded like mid-range or any other disc that isn't a putter. I'm not really much for the bead. But for this disc, I am in love with it. I love how I can power grip because I power grip everything. So I'm very touchy. I have to really have a good feel for the disc. And this has just amazing feel. I can throw it forehand, backhand. Um, I mainly throw backhand, but I can't throw forehand. I'm just waiting for this thing to get so beat in because it's going to be money. The next one I don't throw very often, but it's in the bag just in case. It is a Castaplast K1 Cax Z. I don't think that's how you actually say that, but we're going to go with it. This Cax Z is pretty straight. I can throw this flat and it's going to just stay straight and dump. Um, so that dump at the end is what I really, really want because that Casey Pro Rock likes to just gradually go. If I throw flat, this will go straight and then go, which is what I really, really like in a mid range, especially one of my middle slots. The next one is a Discmania MD3. Now, this is one of the first Discmania discs that I've ever thrown, and it is by far one of my favorites. I got this when the new ones came out. This is the new C line, and I am absolutely in love with how this like new C line feels. I have an old C line FD3, which you'll see later, and I love the old plastic, but this new C line tops it all off. Great job, Discmania. Oh. The next one is one that kind of fluctuates within my bag. But it is going to Ledgestone with me because I am in love with this disc and I can shape so many lines. It is a Ledgestone edition 2020 Crazy Tough Buzz. Now, this buzz, I've lost it. I trust it on a lot of lines and I lose it a ton. But it keeps coming back to me, so that means I just got to keep throwing it. This disc, I throw it on steep hyzer, pops up to flat. Anything less than like a 45-degree hyzer, it's going to go to the right. So it's a really workable disc, really predictable. In love. So in love. The next one is one that I'm kind of iffy on, depending on if I actually want to bring it, is a 2022 Ledgestone Edition Meteor. Now, this Meteor kind of plays in to that Buzz slot, but the Buzz, this is a little bit more stable than the Buzz, if you can even predict that. This Meteor, I can throw it on a hyzer angle and it's going to pop up and ride a little bit, but it's always going to have that consistent left finish on a backhand. I will never throw this forehand. But a great disc. If it goes with me, I will use it on many courses, but if it doesn't, it'll still be in the box in the car. So, great disc. The next disc is one that I've been looking for a while. Now, I do have I have a disc that does the same thing, but it's not like this disc. It is the Castaplast K3 Hard Sve. Now, this Sve is just, it is so good. It's kind of like the Latitude 64 Fuse, but better. You can throw this on a hyzer, it's going to flip up and over, and unless it's losing energy, it's not coming back at all. So it is something so important, and I'm in love with it, and it's something that I've been missing in my bag for a long time. And that was the end of my mid-ranges. Now we'll go into my fairway drivers, and I keep my fairway drivers very simple. I only have 4 of them, and I can shape these discs to do whatever I want. But again, we'll go from most overstable to most understable. And the first overstable disc is my new C-Line PD. Now, this thing gets thrown a lot, whether it's forehand, backhand. It is a straight beefcake. Like, I can throw it at a chop angle on a forehand, and it's going to be coming out and maybe get me 300, 320 feet of distance. On a backhand, I can throw it on that, like on a big power grip, really hard on an ante, and it's maybe going to get me 350, 360. It is so overstable. I like it way more than a Firebird I've ever thrown. Uh, it is so good, so reliable. In love with the PD. I might have to get me another one because this one is getting really beat in as well. The next one is a new addition to the bag. Something I used to throw, but now I'm going to throw it again, is the Innova Thunderbird, factory second stamped. And this disc is just so good. I got to play around yesterday and threw it, and I can throw it flat, and it might go a tad right, but it's always going to have a very good finish. It's not like a dumpy finish like a PD is. It's more of like a pushing forward finish, which is what I really like, and I think I will really need that to attack these courses at Ledgestone. Now for my straight fairway driver is a Discmania Original FD. Now, this is what I was talking about with the old C-Line plastic. I am in love with the old C-Line plastic, but the new, it just feels so good. This disc is so tacky. It catches the ground, doesn't really skip very much, and it is a staple in my bag. Once this gets flippy, oh, it'll be so good. And the last fairway driver that I have is another ace disc of mine, and it is the Discmania Maverick. Now, this disc, it's been with me for a while. I had a blue one, I lost it, and I bought it right after that, and it hasn't left my bag. So if you remember my blue Maverick from the last in the bag, yeah, rest in peace. But no, this Maverick is incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better fairway driver. It is getting to the point where I can put it on a steep hyzer and it's going to pop over and go, kind of like the Svei would, but it's always going to have a finish. If I throw this flat, it will go into a roller, uh, but such a remarkable disc. In love. Absolutely in love. For the last section of my bag, I have my distance drivers. I have 7 distance drivers, and we'll go from most overstable to most understable. The first overstable one is a Millennium Quasar in the Series 1.5. I think that's how you say that. Series 1.5. This disc is mainly a forehand disc or something when I need to get around a corner with a big flare skip. I don't throw it backhand very often, but if I need something that'll uh, handle the wind, I don't throw it very often, but if I need something to handle the wind, this is it. And it is board flat, which is something I love. The next one is a double ace disc. I got 2 aces on this one. It is a Prodigy H1 V2. Now, I love this disc. I lost my FD3 in a tournament in Nebraska, and I needed something that's going to be like an FD3 where it's stable but not too stable. And I came across this, and it's a little bit faster than an FD3, but I love it. I've learned to love it on the forehand mainly. I love doing like spike hyzers with it, but the backhand is just as good. So such a good disc. The next one is a new addition as of a couple months ago, and this one is the Orbital Silver Lot Rive. Still in the gram plastic. I'm pretty sure with the Orbital. I'm not too sure how the Orbital goes if it stays in the gram plastic, but anyways, the Rive, this is my overstable Rive. It is so reliable, I can bomb with this disc. There's a hole back home. If you guys have ever been to Des Moines, Grandview Park, when it's in the long, it's about 500-ish feet. Um, and I absolutely parked it in a tournament with this disc, so it is never leaving my bag. I have 3 of the same disc of 2 different runs, but we'll start out with my Cloud Breakers. I have 2 Cloud Breakers, one that's newer and domey, really overstable, mainly a forehand one. Then I have a board flat Cloud Breaker that really likes to flip up and ride. Um, this one is a workhorse. If I need a bomber, this is going to be this disc. If I need something more overstable on a forehand with some dome, if you guys can see that dome, I'll throw this a lot on forehand. It all depends on the wind as well. And the second part of that same disc of those S-Line DD3s that I just showed you in the Cloudbreaker 3s is the new C-Line DD3. Now, this disc is surprisingly flippy. I did not think while getting a 174, everything in my bag is max weight. Everything in my bag. I didn't think getting a 174 DD3 would be so flippy, but I can pop this up to flat, and it's going to ride right, and then just finish. And I absolutely love it. I think that it is a great disc. I love the stamp. I love the feel. This is going to be a workhorse on the bomber holes in Morton and at Eureka. I am so excited. And the very last disc that I have in the bag is my very first distance driver that I ever picked up that was overstable, and now it is not. It is a first run Royal Rive. I absolutely love this disc. It is my roller disc, my hyzer flip off of a steep hyzer. And even if I throw it on a steep hyzer, it's going to flip up and ride right. And when it loses energy, then it's going to go. It is such a reliable disc. I know exactly what it's going to do. I will not throw this if there is any kind of a headwind, even like a 5-mile-per-hour headwind. It's going to flip up and over. Tailwind, this thing bombs. If I need a bomber and a tailwind, this is the disc I'm picking up. So very reliable, very good. Get you guys self a Royal Rive. Other things in my bag. I have some headphones. Let's see. I've got a sports sack. It's really, really powdery. Like if I just very powdery. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have a couple towels. I have my Bushnell rangefinder, a couple bag tags. That's about it. Oh, and I have my normal dynamic disc sports sack. If I don't want something as chalky, just kind of get the sweat out of my hands, that's what I'm reaching for. But yeah, I think that's everything in my bag. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Uh, thank you to my sponsors, Hutchins Construction and Freak Disc Golf. If you guys want to pick up any kind of merch that I have, like this hat, this bucket hat, possibly when they come out, shirts, sweatshirts, anything like that, go to freakdiscgolfco.com. It'll be linked down below in the description. Go check out all of the merchandise, discs. It'll be greatly appreciated. I'm so happy with how they treat me and all the support that I get from them. Thank you guys so much. Uh, Again, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Hope to see you in the next video when I talk about Ledgestone. Deuces, guys.